The dust on the county road hadn't settled yet when the rumor hit Cedar Creek, Texas, like a summer storm. By the time Lainey Harper stepped out of the feed store with a 50-pound sack of layer pellets on her shoulder, every head in the parking lot swiveled. Old men on the bench outside. The co-op stopped chewing red. Man, Mrs. Delgado, at the register whispered loud enough for the whole line to hear. Swear to God. She's already showing. Lainey was 26, sun-browned, and built like the barrel racers she used to ride with. Narrow waist, long legs, and a mouth that could cut a man clean in half when she felt like it. She wasn't showing. She was wearing the same loose pearl snap she'd owned since high school, and the only thing growing on her was irritation. The rumor started because she'd been seen leaving Dr. Patel's office 2 weeks earlier. Never mind that she'd gone in for a busted wrist after a green colt, flipped her into the corral fence. In a town of 2,847 souls, facts were optional. By Friday, the story had legs. He heartbeat and a supposed daddy, some nameless roughneck from the Eagle Ford shale who'd passed through last spring. Lainey heard it all, at the bank, at the Sonic, even from her own auntie on the phone from Lubbock. She laughed until her ribs hurt, then stopped laughing when the women at church started giving her the side-eye during the doxology. Saturday night she drove her battered Silverado into the gravel lot of the broken spoke honky-tonk, boots crunching like she was stepping on every tongue that had wagged about her that week. Inside, the band was tearing into Folsom Prison blues, and the air smelled of beer, sweat, and too much Dracar Noir. That's when Wyatt McBride walked in. Wyatt was 31, broad across the shoulders, narrow everywhere else, with a jaw sharp enough to split kindling and eyes the color of creek water after rain. He wore the same black resistol he'd had since he was 17, the brim curled just so, and a silver buckle the size of a dinner plate that read, "All Around Cowboy, 2017 Cheyenne Frontier Days." He hadn't been home in 3 years, not since the wreck that ended his career, and sent him drifting from Montana to New Mexico, chasing 8-second dreams that never quite panned out. He saw Lainey at the bar before she saw him. She was arguing with Cody Ray, the loudmouth welder who'd helped spread the rumor faster than a grass fire. Cody had his hand on her arm like he had any right. Wyatt crossed the floor like he was walking into the arena for the short round. The room quieted the way it does when people smell a fight coming. "Take your hand off her," Wyatt said, voice low, West Texas slow. Cody smirked. "Mind your business, McBride. Unless you're claiming responsibility for what's in her belly." The jukebox hit the break between songs. You could have heard a spur rowel drop. Lainey turned, eyes flashing. "There is no belly, you idiot." But Cody was drunk and mean and wanted the room on his side. "That's not what I heard. Word is some cowboy left her a little souvenir." Wyatt never took his eyes off Cody. He took one step closer, boots thudding on the scarred wood floor. "If she's carrying," he said, calm as Sunday morning, "it's mine." A whoop went up from the peanut gallery. Someone slapped the bar. Lainey's mouth actually fell open. Cody laughed, but it was thinner now. "That right. You even been around the past 6 months, cowboy." Wyatt finally looked at Lainey. Something passed between them, old history, older hurt, and something neither of them had named yet. "I'm here now," Wyatt said. The room exploded. Phones came out. By the time Lainey dragged Wyatt outside by his shirt sleeve, the story had already mutated again. Wyatt McBride comes home and claims Lainey Harper's baby in front of half the county. Under the neon Lone Star sign, she rounded on him. "Have you lost your damn mind?" He took his hat off, ran a hand through dark hair that needed cutting. Seemed like the quickest way to shut him up. "You could have just punched him. That would have been simpler." Wyatt gave her half a grin. "Where's the fun in that?" She stared at him, chest rising and falling too fast. "You know this is going to be all over 3 counties by morning." "I do. They're going to say we've been sneaking around, that we're getting married, that the baby's going to have your crooked nose." He stepped closer. "Let 'em talk." Lainey swallowed. "And when they figure out there's no baby?" Wyatt shrugged, eyes steady. "Then I guess we'll just have to give them something else to talk about." For the first time all week, Lainey Harper laughed, real deep, from the belly people swore was occupied. She reached up, flicked the brim of his hat. "You always were trouble, Wyatt McBride." He settled the hat back on his head, tilted it just right. "Yes, ma'am. But I'm your trouble if you'll have me." The rumor mill ran hot for weeks. Lainey never bothered correcting anyone. Neither did Wyatt. By the time the first bluebonnets bloomed along the county roads, folks had mostly moved on to fresher gossip. But every Friday night, you could find them at the Broken Spoke, two-stepping slow while the band played George Strait. And if anyone asked about the baby, Wyatt just tipped his hat and said the same thing. "She's carrying all right. Carrying my heart. Been doing it for years." And Lainey, pressed close against him, would smile like a woman who finally had the only story that mattered.